What's up, guys? Dontavious here, three-time Team USA high jumper, five-time NCAA All-American, with a current personal best of 7 feet 5 inches, currently ranked top 30 in the world. And today, we'll be talking about why athletes get stuck at the flat numbers. And when I say the flat numbers, I'm referring to girls being stuck at jumping 5 feet and whatnot, guys being stuck at 6 feet, 7 feet, like not being able to break through there. So it'll usually be a girl or a guy stuck at like 4'10" and can't get to 5 feet. It'll be guys that are jumping at 5'10", they can clear 5'10", can't clear 6 feet, or they can clear 6 feet and can't get 6'2". Right? That's usually the case. Those are the most common areas where you see people stuck. 6 feet is most common for guys. 5 feet, most common for girls. So why do you get stuck here? And why does it feel like this hard breakthrough? So I'll start by telling a little bit of my story. So when I was 15, my personal best was 4'8". My sophomore year, I jumped 5'10", and I was stuck at 5'10". I wasn't able to get 6 feet. I jumped 5'10" probably in 3 different competitions that year, but could not get 6 feet. Right? But then my junior year, I was stuck at 6 feet. I couldn't get past 6 feet. I was like, I'm stuck. And eventually I ended up breaking through and jumping 6'3.5" on one occasion. Right? And that was when I finally broke it. And then my senior year went on to jump 7 feet. So let me tell you why this kind of happens. So it's psychology, basically. What we think, what we were exposed to. So a flat number. So when we think about a flat number, this is 5, like a 5-0 in the high jump, because any other number that has a 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, like a number, and we're going to call those like, non-flat numbers, basically. So for instance, when there's a certain connotation associated with a number, our mind kind of associates it in a certain way. So when you think about, when you turn 16, you're able to drive. When you turn 16, you're able to drive a car. Your mind actually associates turning 16 with car. So when I turn 16, I know I get to drive a car. When I turn 16, or let's take it a step down. When I turn 13, I'm a teenager, right? This is what your mind is doing. This same kind of thing happens in the high jump. When someone understands that they are a certain height in the high jump, they say, well, I'm about 6 feet tall. This bar is at about 6 feet, So my height determines my high jump. That's usually what happens. And it's the same kind of thing that happens in your brain. 16, I get to drive a car. 13, I become a teenager. My height is this height. That's how good I'm going to be in the high jump. This is the same kind of pathway that's kind of happening in the brain, right? And those might not have been directly related, but the whole concept there was to understand how your brain relates certain things to certain things. So when we think about a flat height, when you think about like a 6 and a 0, it feels like a big deal compared to like a 5'9", because with a 5'9" or a 5'8", 5'7", that's on the way to being able to clear something that looks pretty, right? This looks pretty. This looks like something that, that looks good to put on paper. And since we think that in our mind that 6'0" is this big deal, I've had an athlete tell me, I'm still trying to get this elusive bar of 7 feet at one time. Elusive. this bar feels elusive. It feels it feels like it's different than the rest of them. It feels great, right? So when we do that, we put this kind of bar on a pedestal. Now this is what people do when the bar gets to 5'0", 6 feet, 7 feet. So guess what? Even bars like 5'11" feel tiny compared to this. So even though you didn't try to, you mistakenly made 6 feet feel like this, and 5'11", even 1 inch below, feels that much more easy. And this is when you have an athlete who comes across and they've jumped 5'10", 10 times. Never jumped 6 feet. 5'11", 10 times. Never jumped 6 feet. Never. Because they put this bar on a pedestal. And that's what people do in the high jump. They put bars on a pedestal. When you put a bar on a pedestal, it becomes unachievable. Or it becomes that much more difficult to achieve. Right? And guess what? Even if you do achieve it, who cares if you can't ever do it again? Right? It'll be different if it was a record. American record, world record, something like that, school record. But if you can only jump it once, who cares if you can ever do? I mean, if you can only jump it once, it doesn't matter if you cleared it once, because that's where your high jump career really ends, with the highs that you can jump. If you're talking about continuously improving, if you want to be continuously getting better and continuously building, you can never put a bar on a pedestal. I don't care what bar it is, even if it's the world record. It does not deserve that. It does not deserve you to make it unachievable in your mind. There's nothing on this planet that you should be putting in your mind as unachievable, especially not a bar that's within your range. Okay? So the crazy thing is about when athletes get stuck at heights like this, or 5 feet or 6 feet, it's usually a height that probably over, like, you're talking about the height of 5 feet, let's say for girls, and 6 feet for guys, probably like over like 100,000 or 200, 300,000 people have cleared it on the planet, maybe more. Like, you can look this up. Like, when I went on World Athletics and saw how many high jumpers have ever jumped 230, 7.6.5, which is 4 centimeters from my PR, only 300 men on the planet have ever done it. All right. When you go to 7 feet, it's a whole lot more. Now think about a 6 feet. Right. And the reason I'm bringing this up is not to degrade an athlete or degrade someone. I'm bringing it up to help you understand that you have to find the proof. When you understand that 300,000 or 500,000, 500,000 people have done this, was able to clear the height that you are putting on a pedestal, you got to sit there and ask yourself, what is it about me that makes me feel like I can't do it? You have to sit there and ask yourself that, and you have to get down and deep and thinking like, where does this fear come from? Is this fear of association with other people who believe that they can't do it? Is this fear of the unknown? Never have been present and haven't done it myself and scared that I can do it? Is it fear of actually being able to do it and transcending? Right? Because I'm sure it feels a certain way to be able to go to a competition and watch someone clear the heights that you can't clear. I've experienced that. I've been beat plenty of times. More times than I've ever won. So I've had to watch people jump stuff I could not jump yet or have not jumped yet. I want to know how they can do that. And I understand how they can do that. And I don't chalk it up to this athlete is they're just better. They're just born with it. They just got it. That's what a loser would do. Chalk it up to they're just better. They just got it. When you're a young athlete, 13, 14, 15, 16, all of this, nobody is just better, right? I understand some people are more athletic at times at different parts of age, and as you're growing up, people grow up differently. But there's always a threshold of what somebody can do off of talent alone. The biggest barrier that holds high jumpers back, young high jumpers, is the mental threshold of putting bars on pedestals, not mentally believing they can achieve it, and not getting down to the reason why they don't think they can achieve it. If you go and you just go and ask yourself, right? You can even pause the video and say, hey, why is it that I don't think I can jump 5 feet? Why isn't that I don't think I can jump 6 feet? Why is it? And you probably don't have an answer, right? But if you don't have an answer, that's okay. It's time to find one, right? And you're going to find the answer and find the reason why you think you can't. And guess what? I want you to go and try to find 100 reasons why you think you can. Stacking rocks. You want to stack more rocks on the side of the air of the positive than the negative. You can say, oh, well, I don't think I can jump it because I'm just scared. Right? Then, okay, that's on the negative side. Oh, well, because my friends are just better than me. That's on the negative side. Then, boom, let's go and find some things. Okay, this many people have jumped it before. It's like 30 guys in my grade in my state who can already jump it. My friend jumped it in practice. I've had great jumps at it in practice. I've trained for it. I've been in the weight room. I've been high jumping for a long time. I've been studying the technique. So then you start to stack up all these reasons as to why you can clear a so-called elusive bar or something that feels unattainable or a flat number, and it becomes that much more closer to you. So I just walked you guys through why athletes struggle at being able to clear a 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet. Mostly it's because they put that kind of bar on a pedestal and they associate it with a certain type of achievement. Like being 16, I get to drive a car. Being 13, I'm a teenager. Being 6 feet, 6'0", is a flat number. This is a big deal. That's what the brain is telling you. You have to break that idea. You have to break that belief of saying this bar is on a pedestal. It is not. You have to achieve it. You have to think about the reasons that make you feel as though you can't achieve it and find many more reasons as to why you can achieve it if you want to break those habits of thinking that you can't jump at the flat number bars. If your athlete tends to get stuck at heights that are flat, like the 6 feet, 5 feet, etc., and they face these same mental blocks, let me help you guys out. On my free high jump strategy session, we'll identify the specific mental blocks that are holding them back and create a personalized plan to help them overcome those mental blocks and start jumping those heights. Click the link in the description to book your session. I only take a few calls each week to make sure I get each athlete and their family the proper guidance. Let's help your high jumper's mindset become their greatest asset.